Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Rivalz Race Chat. My name is Clinton Geoffrey, and we're still experiencing some technical difficulties here at my house. Anyways, slight power outage put me behind schedule, which normally I'm mad at Adam for being behind schedule, and so I take all the heat today. Our guest is already here. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm good. I'm here on time, ready to go. Like what? What do you mean Clint's not here? All I do is smile. I just smile and nod. Like, yeah, let's do this.
I deserve it, man. I deserve to take a bit of a beating, but it's okay. We're going to try and get my real mic fixed up, and we get Carson on the line. So you take it away. I'm going to work on my tech issues, and I'll jump in there right away.
Yeah, work on your mic, because to me, the big story, one of the big stories this past weekend was the Quick Wick Super Stock Series visiting Peterborough Speedway, more than 30 cars strong. I mean, that's phenomenal. The victor on the night was Carson Nagy, so let's jump right into it. Carson, welcome to the show. Congratulations on a job well done Saturday night.
Thank you.
So, talk about Peterborough as an investment. I mean, it's a long way to go. You knew it was going to be a tough field of cars. What were your expectations driving up there? Because that's a field stacked with talent. Like, do you go up there thinking, we've got the winning car, I've got this tonight? Or what do you set out for?
Honestly, it's hard to show up to a track with expecting to be the best car there with that kind of field. Like, from 1st to 30th, the field is stacked with talent. I was just hoping to get a decent finish, like a top 10, and wasn't expecting much when we rained out of practice, and it turned out all right.
I guess it did. Talk about the atmosphere there. As I said when I was introducing you, more than 30 cars show up. That's a special event. That's a huge deal. What was the buzz like? What was the crowd like?
It was awesome being there. All the fans were into the race. The atmosphere was amazing. Just everyone so competitive and excited and ready to get on the track. It was really good.
So talk us through it a little bit. Obviously, you qualified pretty well, and then come race time, what went down? What were you worried about? Were you hearing noises towards the end? Talk about your run.
Yeah, well, after qualifying, I wasn't expecting too much. We were kind of off the pace from Garrett getting the pole, and I wasn't too sure how the race was going to go. But with that invert, I got really lucky starting on the outside pole. And about 10 laps into the race, the car just kicked in and it was flying. Nothing went wrong. The car was perfect that night, and the turnout was amazing, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Holding on for the win. So what, because I didn't see any of the race, what were the challenges like? What was lap traffic like? Again, a full field of cars on that racetrack, things can get pretty sketchy and strung out. And you as the leader, you've got to deal with it all first.
Yeah, it was super hard getting through lap traffic. There's not a lot of room on the track to get around guys, and they weren't giving me much room, but we got through it all right, came out clean.
What are the hopes for the rest of the season? So you're climbing back into the points, but you're not at the top of the charts. Is Peterborough a track you thought, okay, I'm going to do really well here? What's your weak spot on the schedule, the way it looks to you?
One of the weak spots for me is Delaware Speedway. I haven't been able to get there much. The first race, we fell back in points, weren't able to finish. We crashed out early. Peterborough, I've had a lot of success there, whether it is finishing podium at Autumn Colors or heat wins there. One of the strengths, I think, would be Flamborough Speedway. It's my home track. I have lots of laps there, and I'm feeling confident going into that Flamborough race. But yeah, that one hard track will be Delaware for me.
Now, having said that, that's where the series concludes. So that's where you've got to kind of be able to turn it up. Do you have plans of going down there much before that finale weekend to get some nights of racing in?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get out there for a few more regular shows before then. We got out for one for their 50-lapper there, and we had lots of speed, but just in the race, we kind of lost the car a bit. But yeah, I plan on getting out there for a few more regular shows before that race comes.
What is going on with you and your brother racing? I mean, obviously you've done a lot of racing over the last few years. This year, what are we seeing out of your brother? Where are you guys showing up week after week?
So with the super stock with me, I've been going to Flamborough Speedway, just mainly Flamborough. And with Hudson, we got him a legend car this season, and he's been absolutely loving it. He's had like 3 or 4 races now, and he's having a blast.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So I'm kind of watching in the background as we do this, seeing what Clinton Geoffrey's up to as he tries to get his system right. Clinton, are you back with us?
I think we are. I don't think the audio is perfect, but we'll make through it. Can you hear me?
We can tell it's you. Yeah.
All right. Carson, there's been so many debates about bringing everyone together. When you get out to these tracks and you've got all these different personalities, is that tough when you get racing around guys that you don't normally have to race against? So you're probably racing against new people week to week in this new series that you wouldn't be normally having to adjust to. Are you finding that to be an issue at all?
No, I haven't found it being an issue. I race everyone the same. I don't really have anyone I worry about. Everyone's super good in the series, so I don't really worry about the way anyone else races. But yeah, it's definitely weird racing with different people every week.
I mean, that's also the highlight. So, Spencer, were we able to make a graphic of the top 5 in points? No. Okay. Let's recall. I'm going to open it up in my messenger then, because I was looking at this and this blew me away, Carson, because talking about racing with a different cast of characters every night that you don't know who you've got rivalries with, you don't know who you need to worry about. The top 5 in points: Dwayne Baker from the Barrie area, Ray Morneau from Windsor, Kenny McNichol. I don't even know where Kenny McNichol's from, but he races everywhere, so I don't think you can say he has a home track. Jason Parker, who's a Sauble racer, like from that neck of the woods. Paul Pepper rounds out the top 5, who's from North Bay. Like, unbelievable that everyone comes from a different part of the province. Like, to me, that's so cool. That's what makes it that much harder to perform, is you're racing against people that you don't race with every week. Does it, especially as the leader, did you worry putting your nose into any spots that you had to get into on the weekend, or was it were you able to bear down and just do it?
I was just able to bear down and just do it. I try not to worry about who I race with. Like, those guys in those top 5 are so good. And it's amazing racing with guys like Dwayne and Jason and Ray. But yeah, I didn't really worry about it, and was just able to bear down and do it.
Carson, what's next up on your schedule? What do the next couple weeks look like for you?
So this weekend, we're planning to get out to Sunset Speedway on Saturday, hoping to get some laps before the next Quick Wig Series event there. Probably if Delaware, hopefully maybe even Flamborough the next day, and probably just Flamborough weekly shows until the next Quick Wig Series race.
Right on, Carson. Where can people find out more about you?
They can find me
follow your adventures.
They can find me on Instagram, Carson.Nagy93. They can find me on Facebook, Twitter. Just search up my name and you'll find me.
I know where to find Carson at the go-kart track because he's right behind me, pushing me. The only way I'm successful is with Carson Nagy on my back bumper, pushing me all the way around the indoor track in Hamilton. So thanks for spending some time with us, Carson. Congratulations on a big win. Would you say, is that the biggest win of your career?
Absolutely, by far. Just such a talented field. It was pretty much an Autumn Colors Classic race at Peterborough. It felt so really good to get that done.
I bet it did. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. Thanks for stopping by and chatting with us.
Thank you.
Well-spoken young man there, Adam. It sounds so weird because I can't hear myself today.
Yeah, isn't that bizarre? There's so many youngsters in this sport. It's, it used to be frustrating, right? Do you remember 20 years ago when a kid would go, well, what are we going to do? What happens when they piss off a grown-up and then they have fights? Now, you have to deal with it as the grown-up because the kids are putting a whooping on you each and every week. And our next guest is perfect example of that.
Yeah, we had a great weekend on the G-Force tour on the dirt swing this weekend. 3 long, grueling days, and we'll talk about that. But as the guests keep pouring in, we'll just keep pulling them out. DJ Christie is joining us now, and we get set to roll with the newest night, as Dale Callan, our photographer, put it. DJ, let's talk a bit about the Knights of Thunder tour. It's been a good start for the 360 season, but Jordan Poirier, Jim Hoopin, and Ryan Turner have kind of led the field. I don't think we're insulting you by saying when we rolled into Southern Ontario Motor Speedway Saturday, you were probably not on anyone's hot list to walk out with the sword that night. And I don't think that insults you. And, if there's a few things we want to discuss, but touch upon that first, and then we'll talk about the week that led up to it, which included a hospital visit, a doctor visit, and everything else that you had to go through.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. We were going there expecting to go get our feet wet, just did a few laps in the 360. We actually got it this year off Curtis Starley. So we were just going to do a few races this year until we started doing a lot better than we thought we were going to do. So we thought we might as well keep going. And we rolled in with expectations, hopefully just getting the top 10 and bringing the car home in one piece. Then all of a sudden we got some passing points in our heat race, and we were the last car in the redraw, and we were starting third. So then jokingly, we were just talking about, well, if we hope we did a podium, which we were joking about because we didn't think we could, but we thought maybe there was a chance. Then all of a sudden we popped out to the lead and never looked back.
DJ, there was a number of restarts there. And it went just like you said. You popped into the lead. You made a nice move to take the lead. As the announcer, I'm excited. So I'm building up some hype for DJ Christie, thinking, okay, let's make a big deal of this. It's probably not going to last a long time, but let's give him the credit he deserves. You did a nice job. But right behind you, like Clint said, Poirier is right behind you. Hoopinen is there. Ryan Turner is there. The veterans of the series. And I'm just saying how it was. Like, oh, this is a big deal, right on. And then restart after restart, you kept pulling away from Jordan Poirier. We're watching your brake rotor glow red, but you would take off on those restarts and find your groove. Did you have any idea where, I know there's signals people can give you on the track, but do you have any idea when you're actually the fastest car on the track?
No, I had no idea until that red flag happened. I heard that they said they're like the lineup on the one-way radio, and they said it's going to be the 5 and the 28, and that's when I stopped paying attention. I thought, oh, great, here we go. He's on my tail. I'm just going to have to keep doing what I'm doing, and every time I went around or caution, my dad was at the fence giving me the thumbs up, just keep doing what you're doing. And it's nerve-wracking knowing the back there, but you have to keep yourself in the right mindset just to keep doing what you're doing and keep hitting your marks. And that's what I felt I did, and it turned out to work for us.
DJ, let's talk about Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. That place was absolutely amazing on Saturday. The imagery of the packed house, it felt like we were back to normal. Describe it from your perspective. When you pull out there, I heard many drivers talk about when you really look up in the grandstand, seeing how many people were there to see you guys on Saturday. I was shocked.
Yeah, you're rolling down the front straightaway and look up, and the place is packed. Like, we haven't seen that for, it feels like years now, but I guess it's only been a couple of years, but it was just nuts you could hear them, and it was just like a wild experience. Like, they were lined up all the way around turns 1 and 2, and there was rows of people. Like, I tried to go watch the other heat races to learn something. I couldn't even see the racetrack. I was going to the live stream just to see what was going on.
So you got one of the coolest trophies that's been created. How far have you physically gotten away from that trophy since you won it Saturday night? Like, does it stay by your side?
Yeah, I've been sleeping with the thing every night.
You be careful. That's a sharp sword.
Yeah,
Show them. Is it nearby?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Show.
I can't believe how big the thing is.
That's what she said.
It's it's the real deal, man. It's the real deal. It's about as tall as you are. I think it's about a 6 foot.
It's 5 feet.
Trophy.
It's 5 feet.
How does this change the way you go racing, DJ, moving forward? Are you still a crate sprint car racer, or are you now a 360 racer? I think you pledged to crate points this year.
Well, after Humberstone, we had that big nasty wreck, so that car is toast. It will not see the racetrack ever again. So we still have the engine. It's all right. We did break the block, but just where the motor plate bolts to it, so that can be fixed. But as of right now, we're just going to keep doing the 360 this year, which we have to be careful too, because there's not many nights left on that engine until it needs to be rebuilt. So we just weren't expecting to do this good this year. So we want to keep racing, but we just want to do what our equipment will let us do without just taking it overboard and breaking something.
I just looked back in our messages. DJ is actually committed to the 360s for points this year, Adam. So we'll see how that one plays out.
I thought, now what about Jacob Dykstra? Is he crate or 360 points?
He's crates. So both of those gentlemen will be pulled. They'll be pulled out of the point standings, and they'll make it work. But yeah, DJ, to go against some of those guys, you said in Victory Lane that Jordan and those guys were helping you, but talk about the language barrier with Jordan. He's getting better on the English, but what type of things was he giving you to help you out, and that you felt might have put you where you beat him on Saturday?
Well, the language barrier isn't that bad. I actually went to French school my whole life, so I can kind of understand what he's saying when he's talking French. So when he's telling stuff to his team, I'm always paying attention because they're talking French. Now I just spilled my dirty little secret on him, but yeah, he's a great guy. It was the first time I've actually met him was at Merrittville on Friday night, and I was asking him for just advice to get around that place because it never used to be one of the tracks I looked forward to going to. But as we've started to figure it out, it's becoming one of our favorite places to go to. So he was actually telling me that you just have to be smooth on the gas pedal, and that's the trick, because you never want to be all the way off the gas pedal on a 360, just because the car shuts down in a hurry. So as soon as we were in the middle of our conversation, he just walked away, and I thought, I don't know what he's doing. Then he hopped right in my car and he said, "This thing's terrible, you got to fix it." And he told me to hop in his car. I did that, and it was a lot different than mine. So he walked into his trailer, got a bucket of springs for the gas pedal, and he started going to town helping me.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well,
yeah,
I'll let people in on a bit of a secret. You might think that racers, even if they like each other, they don't want to help each other. He was doing himself a favor as much as he was helping you, DJ, because whenever you can get someone a little more comfortable, you're less erratic. You're easier to race again.
That if it helps me, I'm going to be out of his way more.
Well, not just that, but if you help people be smooth, it'll keep them from putting you in the fence later on. So it is friendly, but it's not a war out there. People aren't viciously against each other. Some of them are, but for the most part,
this isn't
the veterans. Even there in the right circles, people will help you out, try to get you up to speed a bit. Now it may slow down now.
Yeah.
Might say.
So I want to touch on that though. DJ, you just said it's not asphalt racing. Is the culture different? I mean, you grew up with your dad on the pavement. Now you're over on the dirt. Are there big differences with that?
Oh, it's huge. If you break something at a sprint car track or any dirt track, there's going to be the Turners or Athlons over there right away giving you everything they have to help you get going again. Or if you're at the asphalt tracks, like a place like Delaware, Flamborough, the list goes on, they're going to help you, but they're not going to sacrifice their stuff to help you with your program. It's just a completely different culture. Everyone's happy to be there. It's just a great atmosphere.
That's glad you're happy. I got a question for you about the Speedway. So there was a lot of questions from all the teams. A lot of drivers were nervous going into this new configuration, the new track surface. Even at drivers' meeting, everybody was still kind of, what are we going to get tonight? And we all agreed to just go out there and give it our best. I think everybody, from the fans to the drivers to the teams to the crews to our TV crew, everybody was shocked, absolutely stunned by what we saw by the end of the night. Is that a safe assessment from the pit area and most of the drivers' consensus? That is a badass track now and a great place for sprint car racing.
Oh, it's wild. So we actually went and tested down in, I think it was the end of May. So us and another driver went down, and we probably only did 13 laps. because we were worried about tearing up our stuff just because the track was so rough and wavy. And that had us worried for this time going back. So we were probably more worried than anyone else because we knew what it was like in the past. And it turned out to be completely different. It was racy. I've watched the live stream probably 15 times now. So I've seen people running high, running low. I stuck to the bottom, but it was still kind of rough down there, but it was rough enough to be fast just because I could hit a hole and get the same bite every lap. But it was obviously smooth enough to put on a great show. I think the fans enjoyed it. I've heard excellent feedback. I heard numerous people that have texted me saying they want to come watch the race next time we go back there. So there's a lot of people looking forward to it, me, myself being one of them. And I'm just pumped to go back.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a lot of fun to watch, DJ. I always ask this. How can people keep up with you? And Spencer, before you answer that question, Spencer, do we have a shot of DJ and his dad hugging in victory lane? We've got to start clipping these so that over the years we can see some of these amazing moments. Because I thought, how did that feel to you, having your dad roll out? And so tell people where they can keep up with you and talk about that moment with your dad in victory lane.
Oh, that's a dream come true. Him and I do all this stuff together. It's how we bond. We're best friends, and it's just to see him come up. Him and I knew Clint was asking for me, but I was doing my own thing. I was going to see Dad and give him a hug, and it's just what we do. We love doing it, and we're going to keep doing it for as long as we can. And everyone can find us on Facebook at Christie Motorsports, or on Twitter. I'm on DJ Christie, and then on Instagram too, it's just DJ Christie _5 or Christie Motorsports. I try to keep up with everything, but I sometimes get distracted, so I just try and do my best.
If they watch on G-Force, I have a feeling they're going to see a lot more of you just about every weekend. So you done
I sure
good.
hope so. Yeah, you definitely can't miss our car there.
Before we let you go, what's your plans for this weekend? Merrittville has their race going on. They've got a lot of action happening this weekend. They have same program as last Friday, so we want to mention that. It'll be the crate sprints and the 360s along with mini stock, street stock, and then there's a crate race again on Saturday. So what are your plans for the weekend?
So we're going into this weekend. We're going to be there on Friday, and we're going to do our 360 deal, and hopefully that goes as good as Saturday went. We're going in there with high hopes, but we're not expecting to go in there when we haven't got the right setup for that track yet. But we've learned a bit since the last few times we've been there, so hopefully we're hoping for a top 5. I think that's our goal.
Right on. What about Saturday?
How many
Saturday, we're not doing anything. Like I said, we don't have the crate anymore. So we're just going to be at home, probably doing our maintenance, giving her a nice bath, and watching the live stream, of course.
How many parts could you salvage off of the crate car? Like, is the rear end good? Is it mostly just a frame you got to put under it?
Oh, that car is junk. There's a little tight spot in the rear end. The axle's like the rear end's great. The steering box is all right, but all that stuff should just come apart anyways, just so it doesn't bite us in the future, right? Like, fuel cells ripped apart, the seat's bent, the steering wheel's bent, wings are junk, wheels are junk. It's just, I don't know how it did so much damage. It just didn't need to happen, but we don't need to talk about that.
Well, DJ, you are not damaged or junk, so that's a good part. You came back full speed and cranked it up, whereas we looked some clips from Friday's event there of the reel, and we'll get back to you, DJ. We will be looking forward to this Friday live on G-Force, and hopefully you can get it done 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, hopefully. I thank all my sponsors when I'm on here, of course. Anytime we do that, they're always happy. So Dirt Hill Chevrolet, Johnny Intel, Castro Edge, Violence Printing, Advantage Powder Coating, Transportation Repair, and Xavier's Fashion, and that's about it.
All right, well, if we hang on long enough, this is the out reel from Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. So anybody who missed this broadcast, this is some of the clips. Make sure you check it out, and you'll catch DJ winning the race if you watch the broadcast. So we'll get back to you shortly.
No, you ruined it.
I know.
You guys do a great job.
Have,
course through it. We love watching it. Like I said, I've probably watched it 15 times now, just over and over again. It doesn't feel real yet. It's going to start sinking in soon, but it's just unreal.
Oh, you,
It's real,
you did
buddy.
a great job, DJ. Be proud and enjoy it, and we look forward to seeing you at the racetrack this weekend. Thanks, DJ.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here.
Good job, DJ. See you Friday. Just a reminder to everybody, we have the Merrittville program back-to-back again tonight. They still have some booths available. Tickets are available. It is the 2 sprint car classes, the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series powered by Pinty's and the Pinty's Action Sprint Tour, along with street stocks and mini stocks. So make sure you check that out. Adam, keeping along with our trifecta of young superstars, we are going to now bring on another guy who's planning for a busy weekend ahead. Treyton Lapcevich is going to join us now. Treyton, welcome back to Rivalz Race Chat.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So before we even start, tell us what you're up to this weekend, because I heard a crazy rumor and I want to know if it's true.
Well, this weekend I'm going to Three Rivers on Friday night to practice and qualify on Saturday for the NASCAR Pinty Series race. And then I'm actually flying to Sunset after qualifying. We're really hoping the times all work out and there's no delays. And hopefully I'll make it to Sunset for the APC race right in time for the race.
Those are some crazy logistics, Treyton. That's
will
going
you
to be
fly
difficult
back?
on you.
What's that?
Go ahead, Adam.
Will you fly back after? Are you saving some money and driving back? Like, how did this was not in the plans originally? I don't think so. What happened to bring this on?
Well, we were kind of looking at the schedule and we saw that it might be possible. So we called around and actually Marvin Freiberger offered to do it for us. So we're really thankful for that. So we'll be racing the APC race on Saturday, and then we'll be driving back to Three Rivers for the race on Sunday overnight.
So when you say Marvin Freiberger agreed to do it, what exactly is he doing for you, Treyton?
Well, he's flying me from Three Rivers, Quebec. We're landing in Barrie, which is a close airport, I believe, and then we'll be driving from there to the track.
So how DJ Christie was just talking about how awesome dirt crews are and how generous working together. That's a pretty generous offer, and it comes. I don't know how it came about, but I've never remembered hearing Marvin Freiberger as a supporter of your racing. So I can only assume that he just thought it would be really cool to help you make this happen.
Yeah, my dad was able to get in contact with him, and then they were able to work it out. So just really thankful for all that. And, it makes things easier, and I'll be able to run for the APC points as well as the Pinty's points. So we're just really hoping it works out timing wise. It's definitely going to be really tight on the Saturday getting after qualifying there. I think qualifying wraps up around 5. So we got to get to the airport quick. And then I think we got to be at Sunset by 8:30 or so. So it's all really tight timeline, and really thankful to have that opportunity and just hoping it works out.
So how does the qualifying work for the APC end of things, Treyton? Will someone else qualify the car for you? Are you going to be starting tail? How's that all work out?
Yeah, I believe so. And then I'll definitely have to start tail at the race.
So someone else will qualify the car?
I'm not sure if someone has to qualify it or not. I haven't got too involved in that yet, but I'm sure we'll be able to make it happen. Either way, we have to do it. So, but I'll definitely be
someone will complain that your tires will be too fresh if that car doesn't go out and run qualifying laps. But think of it this way, Clinton: the best he could start anyhow is 9th. You're second in APC points, aren't you? Right? Where are you at the APC stand?
So it'd be 8th or 9th.
So 8th or 9th compared to 24th, I say start at the back. It's not that big a handicap.
Yeah, no, and with how the races have been this year, I don't know if starting at the back's a bad thing. I feel like we could avoid some carnage early and maybe save some tires, save the car, and hopefully we'll be able to make it up there for the end.
Treyton, let's talk about your performance in both series so far this year. I mean, we've been able to witness everything you've done in both of those events so far this year. you've had some great speed, but you got tossed around a bit. How do you go into this week trying to change that look? Is it something where you're just going to try and race everybody as clean as you can, or is it a take no prisoners attitude because you're fast and that's how they're going to race you, so you have to race them back?
I was talking to my dad about that quite a bit because it was definitely a rough one at Sunset. But we kind of both agreed on, we'll go out there, I'll run my race, we'll see what kind of speed we have. And if I get roughed up a little, maybe I'll give it back, but I'm not going to go out there punting people and wrecking people. It's kind of just not really my style. So I'm going to go out there as clean as possible, run a good race, keep the fenders on the car. And, it'll be my first road course race as well. So I'm excited for that too.
Without GP3R being on any simulator that I know of, Treyton, what kind of advice have you got from your dad or from your brother Caden to help you out? What kind of tips have they given you about this racetrack?
I've been bouncing a lot of ideas off them, trying to figure out, where to shift, what to shift to. Thankfully, I was able to find the track actually on NASCAR 2003. So I downloaded it up on there, and I've been testing it a lot for the last 2 days. And it's not the real thing. It's not crazy realistic, but it at least gets me in the swing of things, figuring out which way to turn. So that's good, anyways. And then obviously the help from my dad, brother. I'm around some really good people at 22 Racing too. A lot of good road course racers.
Treyton, let's talk about the doubleheader that we just witnessed at Sunset for the NASCAR Pinty Series. And Rafael Lessard coming in as an outsider. Some of the drivers were upset with him. We heard you walked up and congratulate him. What was your thoughts at the end of the day and how that all played out?
I was pretty unlucky both races. The first one, I think I had the fastest car. I got passed early, but we were really gearing up for the long run. I think that was going to work out for us as we saw in the second race there. But I spun out in that one, and then the second one we started a little deeper in the field and was able to make my way up there. I didn't even know if I was going to have a chance at the end there, and I seemed to close in pretty quickly. I was coming with a lot of momentum and coming with 2 to go. I just don't know. I still have yet to see a replay of it. I congratulated Rafael because I thought he ran a pretty decent race, and I didn't know what happened at the end yet, so I'm not sure if he got loose or and we met in the middle or what. So I still got to watch that one and really figure out what happened there. But I have heard that a lot of people are pretty frustrated with how Rafael raced them, and we'll kind of see how that plays out this weekend at Three Rivers.
What goes around definitely comes around, Treyton. But talk about you getting taken out in the first race. What's your initial thought when you start to spin out going into turn number 1, and then what did you ultimately find out? Like, how did you see that wreck happening?
I was really just trying to get around him on the outside. The outside was pretty good for me on restarts, and I was able to clear him earlier in the race too. Right when he got into me, I was trying to save it, trying to gather it up. Just wasn't able to bring it back around. Initially, I thought it was Petey because I figured that was the only possibility. He was at my left rear, but come to hear that it was Ranger who got into him and knocked him up into me. So I guess it was just the kind of wrong place at the wrong times kind of deal. So, it was definitely frustrating for sure. I was pretty angry. Didn't have much time to get back through the field, but we had a good car. I was able to salvage some positions anyways. So my dad and crew chief were able to calm me down on the radio a little and be able to strap back in and grab some positions.
Treyton, I got one last question for you. What's more frustrating, when you just don't have speed and you're not having a bad day, or when you're lightning fast and should have won both races?
I think it's definitely being lightning fast and having, or should have won both races for sure.
I have a feeling there's going to be more opportunity, Treyton. It is a short season with just 11 races, but there's a lot of opportunities out there to get a checkered flag, to seek revenge if you need to let things play out. And it's been a lot of fun watching you do all those things. So good luck this weekend. We'll be at Sunset to watch you fly in and start from the back. So have a great weekend, man. Good luck. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the experience.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Treyton, before you go, I think it would be super cool for our viewers if there was some way we could hook up with you. And I know you're going to have a hectic day, but when you're getting on the plane, you got to tweet at him. You got to send us some pictures. And I think it'd be super cool to update your travels coming in for the day. Are you going to make it? Are you not? I mean, I live for that type of stuff. So promise us you'll at least try and stay in communication. Let us know what's going on so we can let them know, because we're going to be live on the air waiting for you to arrive. And I think it'd be a cool story to follow.
Definitely. I'll throw it up on my Twitter there and try and stay up on top of that as stuff happens.
All right.
Sounds
have a good
good,
night, man. Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.
Right, Adam? Wouldn't that be
Oh,
cool?
boy. Yeah.
So-
it'd be awesome. Now, along a similar vein, Larry Jackson, who races the Pinty Series and is a firefighter, he worked a 24-hour shift, got off in the morning, drove all the way to ICAR to run the road race, finished the race, drove all the way back to work his next 24-hour shift. Like, racers, the things that they do to go racing, and for us to complain about what we did this weekend, and I still think we're right. There wasn't a lot of sleep. They were long days, but that's the sport we chose.
Yeah. For anybody said to me, "Oh, how can you guys do it?" Hey, we can sleep from October till May. That's the way I look at it. Let's run through our weekend quickly, Spencer. Just throw up a couple pictures. We showed some of our out reel, we call it, when we're closing the show, but our crew worked pretty hard this weekend. Just a couple of pictures I caught along the way. Ryan sitting down was making me laugh on Sunday night. We had nowhere to sit, and he's just like, "I gotta sit down, man." I'm like, "Sit down on the log, bro." So there we were in the infield at Humberstone, just chilling, and I ended up sitting on the rocks. And I don't know, it's just good to see everybody working. We were happy to bring the coverage, and what great shows we had. I mean, Merrittville knocked that whole show out in about 2 hours and 35 minutes on Friday. Saturday was a bit longer, but I don't think anybody cared. The crowd was massive. Other than the heat, it seemed to go along pretty good. And then Sunday, back for the All-Canadian, which was done by 10:30, was awesome. So all those broadcasts can be seen up on the air. Any thoughts, Adam, you want to talk about from the weekend? Oh, Travis. How cool is it to have Travis in this weekend?
Travis, you know what I love about Travis is he's as big a race fan as we are, Clint.
Yeah.
Right? He's a racer, but he's a huge race fan. Offered some great insight up there. No, he was good. You're going to see more of him as the year goes on. I'm pretty sure of that. On the track and on the microphone, we'll drag him back into service.
Yeah, we've already talked about possibly a 3-man booth at times when it makes sense. And I think, the thing that shocked me about Travis, I knew he wouldn't be shy. And I told him, I said, "Don't hold back, man. Get in there and just let her fly. Like, don't be timid." He said, "No, I'm planning to give her." He showed up at 4 o'clock, eager, ready to go. How that whole came about is you and I were traveling back from Southern Ontario Motor Speedway around 3 a.m. And I said, "Hey, who are we going to get in Sunday?" And you said, "How about Travis?" And we both said, "Yes, for sure." And I messaged him at 3:30 in the morning. He said, "I'm in."
Yeah,
So,
and we're traveling separately because we don't get to talk to each other enough. We're talking to each other at 3 a.m, going back to our respective houses and our respective vehicles. But yeah, that worked out really well. So,
but the thing for me
hats
was,
off to-
I knew he would have the technical knowledge. I knew he would know the names, but the fact that he knew the current events about all the drivers that were there, like he knew that guy won 2 weeks ago, and he knew that guy got DQ'd a week ago. And I'm like, weren't you racing your sprint car on another track that night? But hey, he was fantastic. So kudos to Travis.
He jumped in. He jumped in to do driver starting lineups, things like that. Like they're no holds barred. And even Steve Zabo, who was the announcer at Humberstone, I think he kind of realized, hey, these guys have it covered. I'm going to sit back and watch and learn a little bit, and hopefully he did, because Travis was great.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked, and you said you felt off Sunday. I know we were kind of out of gas and burnt out, but I thought the show was really good. I thought we just flowed really well, and it wasn't work on Sunday for me. I thought it was great to be back. Spencer, show that last screenshot I just gave you. And people always debate about whether we're hurting or building the sport. I will defend it to the end that we're building the sport because new people are seeing this. And when we see posts like this, put it up, Spencer. The last one I sent, Justin Disher says, 2 nights in a row, and he's on our GeForce Live, 2 nights in a row, G-Force featured tracks that have made major improvements to facilities recently. Southern Ontario Motor Speedway and Humberstone Speedway both look fantastic, and can't thank the track owners enough for the huge investments of time and money breathing new life into them. Hopefully your broadcast will encourage new viewers to support these tracks more after seeing how great they look now. And I love that statement, Adam. Your thoughts on that, and then I have a couple thoughts on it to add to it.
Couple of things he did well there. He tagged both racetracks, and that's a big deal. It's all about, so not only is it lip service, but it's lip service showing people where they can find out more about those tracks. And no, that was really kind, and I think he was right on, and you have to thank the people that get involved. I had 2 points. I can't remember the second one now, but him tagging those tracks, mentioning them by name, phenomenal. And the crowds were huge.
Yeah. So when you look back to that, Spencer, my thing is put it up against Spencer. The thing that I liked about it was, tagged them both. But when he talks about hopefully they will encourage viewers to support these tracks more, now they see how great they look. So that's good, Spencer. I think about someone like Fran across the river who has heard about all these great things and finally got to witness it. And when you think about the Americans at both those tracks, Adam. So Southern Ontario Motor Speedway is tied a lot less to, well, it's becoming more because of the Thunderstocks in our association, but historically they were tied more to the Michigan tracks. That's why they run the open late models and the mini mods, and because they run those across the river. So how many American fans that used to go to South Buxton saw what we did from the Michigan side? How many fans saw it from the New York side, from Humberstone? The people like the names we referred to on the broadcast, Fran, I mean, the Veaches, the list goes on and on of people who would have been over there. And I think, that was a big, what I call pumping up for our tires. It really made us feel good that we could show off all those new improvements.
The sport is being showcased in a meaningful way. I love what Paul Cole is doing down at Land of Legends. There's a lot of eyeballs on Canandaigua. There happens to be a lot more fans in those grandstands than there has ever been. It has been a long time since Canandaigua has been drawing the number of fans they are. They are giving away their product. They're showing it. Delaware Speedway has had some phenomenal crowds this year. They are giving away their product on Rogers Local Cable. So, like you say, we're introducing, not us, but the sport is being introduced. We are a small part of that. Keep the snowball rolling. Keep it growing. I think we can pretty much forget about our rundown, Clinton, because I don't think we're going to get to hardly any of it. But I would take 3 great guests over you and I droning on about topics. Is there anything in there that you want to touch on?
Do you got somewhere to go? I can spare 5 minutes because we were late, just to knock out a couple more topics here. But
because we have a stream behind it.
Okay.
Pick the ones that are important. Like the mini stock tire probably should be legal. Whatever,
okay.
That'll get dealt with behind the curtains.
Let's blast this through. Watch out for fake tees again. Show the Matt Williamson t-shirt. Okay? So again, watch out for fake tees. Matt Williamson put this up today, said this is a fake t-shirt. This is a scam. They are black market t-shirts. The only real ones are ASI. We saw that with Flamber earlier. So be careful when you're watching your t-shirts. Next rapid fire. Spencer, put up the meme about how you can help your speedway. These are things that are free that you can do to help your speedway. How can you support your local racetrack? Give them a shout out. Cost nothing. Follow their social media pages. 0. Tell a friend about them. Engage with their posts. Root for them and check out their advertisements. All great things you do for your track. Comment on that, Adam, quick, and we'll move on.
No, it's brilliant. I think that should be part of our rotating ads every race night.
Done. I love it too.
When we do the billboards.
Show the tire quickly. Mini talk tire, Spencer. There was a lot of discussion about this tire. Was it legal? Was it not? The ODCC said as long as it meets the UTQ, whatever that acronym is, the rating, this tire is under it, I believe, and we'll follow that up next week. Okay? And what do we got? Wreckfest coming up at Merrittville in a couple weeks, or actually at the end of September, September 12th, featuring a school bus demo derby. Adam, we were going to take all our frustrations out, but now we got behind this. I bought us a bus, and we're going to put our stunt driver extraordinaire, T-Mac, Terry McNeil, in the car. Show a picture of the bus, Spencer. It's going to be all lettered up like G-Force, and then show our driver, too, as T-Mac gets ready to go. Spencer.
Oh, I don't like his tone.
I know, he gave it to me. He was going to the bathroom. There's our driver. The joke isn't as poignant now. Go ahead, move on.
We're over it now.
There's the bus. Half painted. It's going to be a red G-Force bus, and it'll be in the Domo Derby. So we're excited to have that. What else was on the list? That's it? I think that's it.
I was going to say, I think it's enough. It's a good show. We got racing to show. This is the time of year, folks. It's all about the racing. It's not about talking about it. It's about doing it, watching it, enjoying it. I am so thrilled. How was the crowd Sunday at Humberstone, Clinton? It looked solid as it was filling in. I didn't get a chance to see it, but Terry's been happy. I think they've been good.
Not massive, not fantastic, but solid is a great word to say about Sunday as they're rebuilding their whole thing over there at Humberstone. All right, let's move on. Don't forget, we're going to be live from Friday night at Merrittville Speedway with the Knights of Thunder, presented by Pinty's, along with the Action Sprinter Mini Stock Street Stocks. We'll also be live from Sunset Speedway for the APC Tour. Make sure you check it out. If you're around, get out there. We want to see you. We want to make sure we get to meet you guys. So come out and hang out with us at the tracks this weekend. Friday, Saturday, live here on G-Force TV. We'll be bringing it to you. Anything else, Adam?
No, that's it, man. Good show. Don't show up late next time.
I apologize for my technical issues. We will run the Thompson videos. Fixed. We'll leave you with the Thompson video. Coming up live, more action.
Is there. Towards the middle to high groove. Out of 4. Puts the power down. Comes across the finish line. Just a couple car lengths behind Poirier. Poirier slow 1-2. And here comes Jim Hoopinen. Side by side down the backstretch just for a moment.
I'm not sure if that was close enough for Poirier to be able to hear the Hoopinen's there, but man, oh man, I think it was. He came up a little bit higher off a turn of performance, still leaving that outside groove for Hoopinen to run. He'll use it to the lead.
Side by side in the corner, number 3, lap traffic right in front of Jordan Poirier. Jim Hoopinen plays that lap hard, and he'll grab the lead off of corner number 4.
What a great job using the 9. He has a pick through 3 and 4. Down in 1 and 2 is where Hoopinen is really making his time, and that's where he actually stretches out over Poirier just a little bit as they work into 3 and 4.
The brake rotor blowing on the Hoopinen 14 inches. He's up into the moat. Here goes Poirier to the lead.
Wow, nice job by Jim Hoopinen. Get back by on the outside line. Just handling 4 laps left to go for the Red Rocket. Jordan Poirier all over him as they work it off the 4th corner. They've got a huge pack of lap cars right in front of them.
And Hoopinen swapped lines. He went to the bottom of the racetrack, and oh no! Oh no, I believe he made contact with Poirier in the right rear of his car. If last week's performance gave Jim Hoopinen nightmares, he's not going to sleep this week.
Aiden Maynard with double green flags in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. They rumble, bumble, stumble through 1 and 2. Clean and green, they go down the backstretch. What a wild opening lap. The Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series.
Ryan Turner leads the way, but they're too wide for second. DJ Christie in the yellow number 5 to the inside. He'll take the lead in 1 and 2, but here comes Poirier.
DJ Christie out in front, and Jordan Poirier in that second spot. Off a corner 4 they come. Christie leads the lap. Poirier tucked in behind him. Here comes Jim Hoopinen on the march. He works to the outside of Ryan Turner in corner 2.
DJ Christie working the bottom groove. Jordan Poirier up higher on the racetrack. 2 different ways to get around Southern Ontario Motor Speedway in a big old hurry.
Tate O'Leary pulls it off into the infield with the leaders bearing down. Christie stretching his advantage over Jordan Poirier. Then it's Ryan Turner, Jim Hoopinen, and a gap back to Aaron Turkey running in 5th.
Further back in the field, Jamie Turner trying to work his way through. He's battling with Scott Burke side by side. We're going to get into slower traffic with the next 2 to 3 laps. DJ Christie setting a torrid pace as Ryan Turner and Jim Hoopinen. I don't know if if they made contact, but it was darn close last time on the backstretch.
There's that battle right now with Jim Hoopin and Ryan Turner. Hoopin trying to work the outside line, gets a good run up on the banking on the backstretch, will grab the spot away, so put Jim Hoopin in there into that position now. He'll grab away the third spot.
DJ Christie, who would have seen this coming? The youngster has shown some bright spots in his young career, but this is huge out here as he is about to put Dan Nanico to lock down, working down into turn one. Wow, Christie with a snail's pace headed towards the restart cone, gets on the loud pedal. And that's his discretion, Greg. You know, he sets that pace. It's the only game you've got at the leader. As long as you don't brake check, anything goes.
5 laps to go, says starter Aiden Maynard at the start-finish line. 5 laps to go for DJ Christie.
Christie up on the wheel so far. He's going to encounter some slower traffic. If this stays green, he'll close in on that Scott Burke number 9. Burke running a little bit higher in the corners than our race leader DJ Christie. Should be able to not change his line at all and get around to the inside of Burke. But as I say that, he bobbles just a little bit in turn number 2.
Down into corner number 3 he goes. Keeping it tied tight to the bottom, this time lifted up just a little higher off of corner number 4, but gets the lap car between he and second place Jordan Poirier. Poirier clears him as they come down the backstretch. This time it'll be 2 laps left to go.
Twice more around for DJ Christie. Poirier pouring on the pressure in that number 28. 2 more times around the deck, gap between first and second, about 3 car lengths going into 1.
Down the backstretch goes DJ Christie. He's got Jordan Poirier in tow and another lap car right in front. Jim Hoopinen is closed in, but time might be running out as the white flag comes out for DJ Christie.
Hoopinen making a late race charge. DJ Christie continues to hit his marks. Last time down the back straightaway.
Off of corner number 3, down in corner 4. Last charge for Poirier. Not gonna work, sir. DJ Christie will get the sword tonight for the Pinty's 360.